Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to unpack something really intriguing today. A modern, completely grassroots document that's aiming to foster a shared global consciousness. It's an incredibly ambitious text, mainly because it blends some pretty deep spiritual philosophy with very concrete calls for global policy changes. So, we're going to look neutrally and directly at what the source material actually says, who created it, and what it's ultimately trying to achieve in the world. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at a new global movement. Second, its core tenets. Third, rights and responsibilities. And finally, we'll look at its ultimate goal. All right, starting with Section 1, a new global movement, origins and context. So, where did this all start? This initiative is rooted in the efforts of Michael Perlin and a metaphysical production company called Starseed Films. Their stated mission is to create inspiring, enlightening films to help build a better, safer, cleaner, and more peaceful planet, one that is dedicated to the unity of all people, regardless of race, religion, or nationality. And it's really interesting, the document they created is visually styled like parchment, which deliberately echoes historical texts. In fact, they actually kick it off with the phrase, when in the course of human events. That immediately calls to mind the American Declaration of Independence, right? But the text here pivots completely. It declares that it has become necessary for humanity to dissolve prejudices and secure inalienable rights. But not just for one nation, we're talking about all living beings on Earth. To really understand this, we have to look at how Perlin frames the foundational mission. He contrasts two totally different worldviews. The text explicitly calls for us to intentionally leave behind what it describes as the old paradigm of separation and division. Out with the old, right? And in its place, the document advocates for embracing a new reality, one that unifies all things and wakes up a connection that we share with literally all living beings in the universe. Moving right along to Section 2, the core tenets, philosophical foundations. Before the document even touches on specific human rights, it lays down some pretty deep philosophical groundwork. The text establishes a baseline of absolute, universal interconnectedness. It's like a giant web. It states that every human being has their own spark of consciousness and that everyone is interconnected, and it even extends that connection to the galaxy itself. Because every life form is viewed as an aspect of the one, the document makes a really bold argument that harming any living being directly messes with the energetic integrity of the entire system. Because of that deep connection, the document outlines very specific spiritual liberties for humanity. It demands the freedom for all human beings to explore and pursue higher consciousness according to their own choice, with the one caveat being that it has to be respectful and harmless to others. Furthermore, it explicitly calls for a reawakening of our connection to the divine feminine aspect of consciousness. And I really find this interesting. It puts a massive emphasis on honoring, loving, and respecting our elders, recognizing that a lifetime of wisdom is absolutely essential for guiding us. Let's hit Section 3, Rights and Responsibilities, Earthly Actions. So they take all these high-level philosophical ideals and translate them into highly tangible, earthly human rights and environmental responsibilities. It really doesn't shy away from the heavy, systemic issues. It explicitly calls for change wherever edicts, power structures, belief systems, monopolies, or even cultural superstitions cause harm or injustice to sentient beings or the natural world. On top of that, it demands an absolute end to all wars between nations and people, insisting that disputes have to be settled entirely through principles of nonviolence. Practically speaking, what does this actually look like? Well, it means a unified global push to completely eradicate limitations and discriminations in the workplace and in political systems, across the board, whether that's based on race, religion, nationality, gender, or sexual orientation. And on the environmental side of things, it asserts our right to literally survive as a species by completely changing our energy systems and consumption habits. The goal here is to reduce pollution, create an ecologically sustainable distribution of resources, and share those resources much more equally with everyone on the planet. The document wraps up with this incredibly powerful, unifying vow. We pledge to each other our divine rights, one earth, one consciousness, indivisible, with spiritual liberty and divine justice for all humanity. You hear the rhythm in those words? Much like how the opening mirrored the Declaration of Independence, this closing clearly mirrors the rhythm of the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance. Except, instead of pledging to a flag or a single nation, it asks the reader to pledge to one Earth and one consciousness on a massive planetary scale.
Now, you might be wondering, to anchor all of these lofty philosophical concepts back into physical reality, where does this manifesto actually live today? The original parchment style document has been placed in the world's largest esoteric library, which happens to be located within the Damanhur community in the Piedmont area of northern Italy. Honestly, a fittingly unique home for a document that's attempting to unite the spiritual and the physical realms.
The Declaration of Consciousness offers a really bold, uncompromising vision of a world without borders, driven by empathy and interconnectedness rather than division. But, reading a manifesto is one thing. Actually putting it into practice is a whole other ballgame. So, if humanity actually embraced this shared global consciousness, how would it practically change the way we resolve our modern conflicts today? It's a pretty fascinating concept to reflect on. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep asking great questions, and I will see you next time.